Hello and welcome. Well, this week I travelled north to a little place called Rainbow Flat, nestled between Taree and Tuncurry. I went there to have a chat with trainer Terry Evans, but not many people would realise that Terry started as a football player back in the 1970s and shared the field with some pretty famous faces. Well, these days it's a change of pace for Terry, being a racehorse trainer and a successful one at that. I had a chat with Terry this week and talked about his time as a rugby league player and the future that holds for him as a racehorse trainer. Well, Terry, thank you very much for inviting me to this beautiful little property you've got here at Rainbow Flat.
Mate, it's my pleasure. You're welcome anytime.
Terry, how did you at all start with horses?
I think it's too long a story, Steve, but anyway, well, it's probably back from my father's days. He was a drover in Queensland and ended up moving to Balmain, and we were born in Balmain Hospital, and he was still working with the horses at a place called Sunshine Bakery, delivering bread by horse and cart. And I think it's in his blood, so we ended up getting it down through our blood.
So it's in your genes?
Hopefully, yeah. Well, that's what they say, yeah.
Now, you mentioned Balmain because a lot of people wouldn't realise that growing up in Balmain, you're a pretty handy footballer.
Oh, yeah, we had a few handy games, Steve, and played with a lot of the good players that were around at those days.
Well, I notice you've shown me a big league program, and if we look at it now, we can see some pretty handy names in there. Of course, you played under 23s, you were the fullback, and you were the goal kicker. So you had plenty on your plate.
Yeah, we had plenty on our plate, although the first game we played North Sydney at Leichhardt Oval, the old Leichhardt Oval, and first tackle was Don McKinnon, so it was a good initiation into grade football.
But look at the first grade on this day. I mean, Neil Pringle, Warren Boland, Arthur Beetson were playing first grade on the day that you've got the program here for me.
Yeah.
Kevin Hastings, Russell Fairfax, geez, famous names
they were in famous names, yeah. No, I remember playing Kevin, he was in the same year as us in the Roosters team, so yeah.
Very handy footballers there. Stephen Knight is another one who went on to play for Manly Warringah, of course.
Exactly, yeah, he was in the centres for the Tigers.
Yeah.
No, it was a good
era.
But
you kept the connection with the Balmain boys because a lot of the Balmain faithful are some of your good clients.
Yeah, there's some great boys we grew up with playing junior football and also water polo at Balmain, and the boys have formed a syndicate over the years and bought a few horses. We had a really handy one first up, so that's probably got them involved and staying involved now.
That's great. Now, I did first think I met you on the Central Coast when you had a spelling property down there. So that's obviously where you've got a lot of your grounding and teaching yourself the ropes.
Yeah, no, we've got the spelling farm lined up with Julie, my wife, and she was doing horse nutrition, and we thought, let's have a go and do it all ourselves instead of working for someone else. So we opened our own business and started with 5 horses, and we had 80 within 3.5 months. So we did pretty good, running around talking to all the Sydney trainers and doing a bit of pre-training and spelling for them.
And how did you find your way up here to Rainbow Flat?
Well, another long story, I suppose. We're at Gosford, and Michael Beattie actually did the good job for us and got us some boxes there, but it was time to move on, and we were just looking for other challenges, and we got offered some stables at Tuncurry and came up one day and bought a property and moved within a fortnight. It was just all a bit of a rush, but it's turned out great, and there's some terrific people up here.
Yeah. And of course, Tuncurry, the track is, a lot of people wouldn't realise it. It's got some great facilities there.
Oh, the training facilities aren't the best, but we get by. We've got the beach nearby, but the course itself is a great course, and it's designed a bit similar to Newcastle, and I think it's going to be a good track in the future.
You kept the rugby league connection going, as I said before, but also with a good horse called the Rise Augustus. You had a famous, a very good rugby league connection there with the Rise Augustus with Andrew Voss. Yeah,
no, Vossy, that was a good initiation for him into the racing industry, and actually Andrew goes back a long way working for the S2C back at Canterbury in his early days. So it was good to have Andrew in the horse, and he enjoyed it.
And I see he's running around in the paddock there. How is he these days?
Yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah, he's getting a bit spoilt, but he probably could beat half the other horses that he's spelling with still. So, but he gets looked after.
Now, these days, it's not all about just training racehorses. It's also about communication and using the social media And as I know you pretty well, you've latched on to the social media side of things and you handle it pretty well. How have you found that?
Yeah, no, I tried to always, like being in horses for a long time, I see a lot of the owners never sort of got information about their horse, so I thought that was very important from day one, that you try and inform the owners and keep them updated what the horse is up to. So we send out newsletters 2, sometimes 3 times a week, and once you're in one horse, you're in every horse, you know, so they know where they're going.
And it's a pretty long day at the races for you, because obviously you've got to get to Tuncurry, work your horses, then float your horses to the track. And I've noticed some nights you've come home, and I've seen a newsletter arrive that evening. So you must come home from the track and then put the newsletter together.
Yeah, while it's still fresh in your mind, you sort of send the newsletter out, and probably can't sleep straight away when you get home. So send the newsletter off and see what happens during that day, and hopefully the owners get it next morning when they wake up.
Now you've got a stable star at the moment, which is keeping your name afloat in the city tracks. One More Sapphire, he looks pretty promising.
Yeah, I think he'd be a nice horse in about 5 or 6 months, Steve. Yeah, next prep, but we've got to get him into the shorter distances before he moves up. So that's why we've kept him sort of up to the mile so far, and we've got high hopes for him.
Did he always show some promise?
He always did, but he was a bit of a handful to start with. He was a bit of a rogue, so like any stud, you've got to have good staff, and the girls that ride him have done a great job. We've done a lot of figure 8 work and beach work, and sort of keep him off the track to calm him down and get him sort of a little bit more mature, and they've done a good job with him, the girls.
You mentioned staff. I know that in particularly this industry, it's tough to get good staff and hold on to them, and that's no different for you as well. How do you end up getting good staff?
Yeah, well, like anything, it's like horses. You go through a lot of staff, and hopefully when you get the good staff members, they stay with you if you look after them, and hopefully they stay with you for a long while. And the girls we've got now, they are the best we've had since we've been in operation. Yeah.
Of course, good staff goes to your wife as well, because she looks after the property here while you're at the track.
Definitely. No, Julie looks after all the spellers and make sure they're all fed and cared for. And then she'll wander off and do her nursing jobs during the day, and then we'll sort of work it in together. We bypass each other a few days and mightn't see each other for a week or so, but it works out pretty good.
So the summer months are just around the corner there, and that means the yearling sales will be upon us. How do you go with the yearling sales? Do you go there on spec, or do you have a set number of lots that you're looking to look at?
Yeah, well, we'll try and put them into our price bracket really to start with, and have a look at them, see which ones you think are in our sort of value, and run them by. We've had a hand recently with Jason Abrahams. He's given us a hand looking at horses and runs his eye over for us before we sort of pick and choose which ones and put them in order. But it's a pretty fun time buying the yearlings.
Yeah. I can't let you go without asking you about rugby league again. And do you get to many games these days?
No, I don't, Steve. But we always watch it on the TV. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Of course, always a Balmain boy.
Yeah, always Balmain. You never change. No, you can never change.
A tiger never changes his stripes,
No.
Of course.
We've had a few good politicians from Balmain over the years, and a lot of sort of larrikins, so it's always good to keep in touch with them all.
It's certainly a different game today than the game that you played.
Yeah, no, it's completely opposite. It's probably we sort of the older guys don't like it, but that's the sign of the times. You've got to go with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So where do you see Terry Evans racing in the future?
We just like to keep going the way we're going, Steve. We're sort of enjoying ourselves. We're living in the best place in the state, I reckon. It's a great spot. You've got the beach and nice and relaxed atmosphere. The horses do well. We can bring them home, have a spell at home for a few days, and take them to the beach, give them a swim, just like we do. So just keep plodding along with what we're doing, and we're quite happy.
Well, absolutely. And I hope the connection with the sort of horses you've had with the Rise Augustus, One More Sapphire. I hope there's a Group 1 winner around the corner for you.
We're always trying, and we've got a lot of assistance, and you do a lot for us, and a lot of other guys, Andrew and a few of the other people in horses, they do a lot of promotion for us, so it's all I'm thankful to them as well.
Oh, great. I hope that I'm taking photographs of Group 1 winners from the Terry Evans stable in the future.
Yeah, so do we, Steve.
Thanks for sitting down with me.
Thanks, mate.